All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Makakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who will well and teach well, be a great example to us younger brothers. Peace and blessings to all for elect, Lord willing to be a part of that number. Salaki. I'm Brother Gaddafi from the Demons Branch of Chicago. Come back with another video. This video is gonna be like a quick hit, going into how we are not in the new covenant. Okay, because that is a default bug out doctrine. That is a default bug out breakdown. Every time a nigga fall out, that is the default argument that they give out. It's default, man. But let's go into this Jeremiah 31 and 31. I also want to hold Isaiah 2 as well. We just gonna flow through the spirit, whatever the spirit got. This is Jeremiah 31 and 31. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah." Okay, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith Yahweh. So that just shows you how Israel is the Lord's woman. It's good to say, I've like a Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So it says, verse 33, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people." So Yahweh Shema Shai is going to write the laws in our inward parts. He's going to give us that what the scriptures say. Does it say fleshly heart? Is it a fleshly heart? Let's see. I just don't want to say it wrong. Yep, that fleshly heart, we'll have the law in our inward parts. I just wanted to double check that, but let's continue to read. It says, "And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them." So if we're in the new covenant, there will be no need for us to go out to the highways and byways and teach the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay, so by you teaching that we're in the new covenant, that itself proves that we are in the new covenant, that we are not in the new covenant. Is quite frankly that simple. You teaching that we're in the new covenant proves that we're not in the new covenant, because you wouldn't have to teach that if we were in the new covenant, of course. So this whole default bug out doctrine, that shit is off, man. All right. It's good to say in Thessalonians will be changed in the twinkling of an eye. When we get those new bodies, that's when we'll be under that new covenant. Okay, when we're changed. Okay, so let's continue to read. It says, "For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more." Okay, and that's simple. So once we get those new bodies, we won't be able to sin. The scripture say the wages of sin is death. So because we won't be able to sin, we will be immortal. Okay. It's niggas dying every day. All right. What's that quote? He say niggas die every day, B. So there are Israelites dying every day. And once we get those new bodies, we'll teach. And once we get those new bodies and the kingdom is established, these nations will flock to us, and we will teach them our way. Okay, they won't get those new bodies. They'll be in the flesh. We'll judge them accordingly. Okay, they'll be forced to keep the law, statute, commandments. And if they go off, we got that judgment coming down for them. Okay, let's read this Baruch 3:8. All right, but it says, let's see, let's start at 7. It says, no, matter of fact, it's all good. I'll get right to the point. I'll get right to verse 8. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. So we are still in captivity. Okay, you still subject to payments. Okay, as it says, if we keep reading, your bag is still filled with holes. You still have to get permission from this devil to go fish, to go out the country. Okay, you have to pay his bills. Okay, this is telltale signs that we are not free. You still have a social security number. Okay, it says, where thou hast scattered us for reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquity of our fathers, which departed from the Lord, our power. Okay, so we are still in our captivity, man. So any nigga teaching that we are in the new covenant, they're going off. Stay away from that guy. Okay, you got those bug outs from Boston, pulled up to the brother. I was watching the elder response to it, the elder Karwataza from LA. Yahweh Shai's blood, all right, allowed us to enter into that grace period, man. Okay, Yahweh Shai paid the tab for the elect, all right, for Israel, but mainly the elect, especially on this side, man. So Yahweh Shai dying, all right, on that cross doesn't automatically mean that we're in a new covenant. No, all right, the scriptures don't say that. And that's what those bug out dudes were trying to. They were trying to make that point. When they confronted the brother. So let's grab this Isaiah 2, in verse 1. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established. All right, that mountain goes into a government. Okay, it says, shall be established in the top of the mountains. Okay, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. All right, so the Yasharallah will be at the top of the top. We'll be in a ruling power. We'll be in a ruling seat, man. Okay, because believe it or not, every empire, there's a nation ruling. Verse 3, and many people shall go and say, come and let us go up into the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. So we're going to teach them our ways. All right, you won't see these fucking gooks eating octopuses no more. You won't see these Hamites, you won't see these Elamites bathing in cow shit no more. I'm just throwing shit out there, but it's true. They're gonna be forced to follow the law, statute, commandment. They're in 144 on that license plate called law. Yahweh Shema Shai. They'll be forced to keep the law, statute, commandments, and if they go off, we'll have that judgment coming down for them, man. We'll have that experience of what it was to be like in the flesh. Okay, so we'll judge them accordingly. Okay, so the scriptures say, as the judge of the people, as the ruler, so are the people. Okay, so the new world. Okay, the scriptures say, because before Yahweh Shai's return, Esau Edom will be a rule. All right, the scripture says Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. That world goes into Eon. Okay, his time is up. The Lord has set bounds that he cannot pass, as it says in Job, the 14th chapter. Okay, so the Lord, Esau has a time limit, man. That's why the scripture say he know that he have but a short time. Okay, but to get back to the point, these nations will be forced to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Okay, and the earth will be ruled under a righteous vibration, not under a satanic vibration like it is today. This is a wicked, satanic ass world that we're in, man, and it's polluted. All right, Micah 2:10. So let's continue to read. It says, and everyone will be happy, man. Okay, let's continue to read. It says, verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. So these are weapons of war. Okay, And it says and they're revert. And so like I'll keep reading. So like let me start from the top. It says, and he shall judge among the nations, because I don't want to butcher it. Among the nations he shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So there will be no more war. Okay, that's symbolic of it'll be no more war in the kingdom, man. You know, no more strife. All right, nation not gonna rise against nation, man. Yasharallah is gonna be on power, gonna be in power, and no nation is going to usurp or even try to usurp, man. They gonna know what it is. All right, we gonna have them powers, man. Read your fucking mind. Okay, all their what they say, you Homo sapiens and your guns, all that shit is gonna be burnt, man. Okay, ain't nobody gonna be firing a missile in Yahweh Shai's kingdom, man. Okay, so it says, O house of Jacob, come in, let us walk in the light of Yahweh. You know, so that was the point. We're not in a new covenant, man, because Esau will be in slavery, and then he'll be exterminated. The heathens will be in slavery. All right, forced to follow the law, statutes, commandments. We will have those new bodies. We will no longer teach our people anymore. There will be no need for us to teach our people. That's plain and simple, literally. You know, so we're not in a new covenant, man. That's very simple. You know, and if you can't receive that, and there's many scriptures to go with that. You know, there's many scriptures to go and back this point up. But if you simply don't believe that from these simple scriptures I just grabbed, man, then the Lord isn't dealing with you. You know, the Lord said I would give them, I would choose their delusions, man. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I pray it was edifying, you know, to whoever it reached. I want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Machakodash. That will honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. Peace and blessings to the full elect. Lord willing, we be a part of that number. Shalom, Kwame Sharala, wa Abadu Ball.